As you could probably tell based off my channel, I'm a pretty huge fan of the Arrowverse, and each season, a lot of great things can come out of it. In this video, I will look at the 10 best things to come out of the Arrowverse in the last season, and when I say the Arrowverse, I mean Arrow Season 7, The Flash Season 5, Supergirl Season 4, and Legends of Tomorrow Season 4 as the last season of the Arrowverse at this point. Anything from scenes, characters, storylines, and basically anything in between can be included in this list, so with that in mind, let's begin the list with number 10. The Flash has some pretty impressive CGI for the pretty small budget it has, and this fight is definitely a testament to that. This fight isn't as good as maybe some other CGI episodes, like in Season 3 Attack on Gorilla City or in Season 4 Enter Flash Time, but this episode and this fight is still pretty awesome, and I think it definitely lived up to the hype that they were creating. I also really couldn't find anything else to put in the number 10 slot, so that is number 10.
So,
You want to tag along? If you don't, I will, Smallville.
Cole, who are you?
A friend.
Ever since he debuted, Superman was incredibly underused to the point where we never saw him meet the rest of the Arrowverse at all, like the Flash or Green Arrow or anyone outside of Earth 38, making the crossovers feel a little bit incomplete, at least the Justice Leagues, because they didn't have Superman there, a character who is probably the most prominent member of the Justice League to ever appear in the Arrowverse, so it was weird that they'd never included him. That finally happened in the Elseworlds crossover, and it was pretty awesome. The fight where Superman, the Flash, Green Arrow, and Supergirl teamed up against Amazo, it really felt like the Justice League were teaming up there, even though the Flash and Green Arrow were body swapped. I don't think that the Arrowverse has ever come this close to feeling like the Justice League was on screen, and a large part of that is because they included Superman.
Jay?
No.
Oh my God, Dad?
My name is Barry Allen. Hello, John.
Do I know you?
You're not wearing your ring. Things must be different here.
Barry.
Arrow Season 6 wasn't very kind to John Diggle, and it basically ruined him as a character to the point that I really disliked him, and I was always like really wishing he would have died in the Lianu explosion, but I gotta say Season 7 kind of changed that, mostly because of this confirmation, of the long-lasting fan theory about John Diggle, which is that he is basically the Arrowverse's Jon Stewart in some way or another, due to their just a lot of similarities. The Arrowverse, the Elseworlds crossover hinted at that theory, where John's Earth 90 counterpart is a Green Lantern, and then in I think it was episode 17 of Season 7, they brought in his stepfather Roy Stewart, who after the episode he appeared and became more of a father to John than his real father, so it's definitely possible that he will change his name to Jon Stewart and become a Green Lantern, and that retcon and that change to the character in this season saved Diggle as a character from how he was ruined in Season 6, made him a lot more interesting as a character, and made the universe feel a little bit more complete, as they're bringing in a huge part of the DC universe, it seems like the Green Lantern Corps, or at least a Green Lantern.
We don't want.
No, if Gotham can handle the Batman, they can handle the Green Arrow. The Batman's an urban legend.
Wait, you don't believe Batman's real?
He's not real. He's an urban legend concocted by the Gotham Police Department to scare criminals. I'm the original vigilante, Barry.
Bruce Wayne was confirmed as a character in Season 6 of Arrow, but Batman wasn't confirmed until Season 7 in the second part of the Elseworlds crossover. This character confirmation makes the universe feel much more complete, because you can't really have a DC universe without Batman, and while we still haven't gotten to see him yet, this confirmation is definitely a huge step in the right direction, and it made the second part of Elseworlds a little bit more exciting due to all the Batman references and all the nods to the character.
Incoming time flux.
People don't typically tout setup as something so good, but I think that the Crisis setup in the season finales of the Arrowverse crossovers were pretty damn good. It made the universe feel much more connected. It made the Arrowverse feel a lot more exciting. It did a great job at setting up Crisis on Infinite Earths. It was always great to see the Monitor on screen in Arrow and Supergirl. A little less on Legends of Tomorrow, but still, I really liked all the Crisis setup. I think it did a great job at what it was trying to do. But really, I think that the best thing about it is how connected the Arrowverse felt at the end, and how exciting the Arrowverse felt like it was going to become because of the Crisis setup in the Elseworlds crossover, but also especially in the season finales.
You can't. Because it is true.
I wanted to tell you. I tried to tell you.
The Flash Season 5 isn't the greatest season of The Flash, but I think that the storyline is generally pretty great, and I was very engaged and invested in this conflict. Barry's reaction to the fact that Nora was working with Thawne was incredibly intense, and the acting from Grant Gustin from the entirety of the storyline was really, really good. On top of that, all the Reverse Flash's plan and eventual confrontation between the Reverse Flash and the Flash was great, and it highlighted probably the best rivalry in the entire Arrowverse, and reminded everybody how awesome Reverse Flash is as a villain.
No. I thought I had more time.
The universe is a complex piece of machinery, and balance must be maintained.
One of the greatest additions to the Arrowverse this season is Marno Vu, aka the Monitor, an all-powerful cosmic being that has such an incredible presence whenever he appears because of who he is and because of his costume. I think it's so good, and the music that he has, his character theme. He was the main focus of all the Crisis setup due to his role in the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline, and his brother being the main villain. I think LaMonica Garrett did an incredible job in the role, and although he didn't really appear in a lot of episodes, I think the limited amount of episodes he appeared in already cemented him as one of my favorite characters in the entire Arrowverse.
At least he's a good man.
He is not a man! I was the man of tomorrow, not him! Not him!
Lex Luthor appeared in just 3 episodes, but those 3 episodes cemented him as the best main villain on Supergirl, the best main villain of the Arrowverse this season, one of the best main villains overall, and in my opinion, the greatest live-action portrayal of Lex Luthor ever. John Cryer did an incredible job as the character, and he really brought together the season, single-handedly making it the best season of Supergirl. I mean, Lex Luthor. I just love this version of Lex Luthor, and I really can't wait to see him interact with Superman, hopefully in Crisis on Infinite Earths, due to his portrayal and the writing for the character really showing the rivalry between these two characters, between Luthor and Superman, in spite of the fact that Superman never appeared. This crossover ended up being my favorite crossover the Arrowverse has ever done. The body swap was a genius idea that made the first 2 parts so entertaining and pretty funny. The inclusion of Superman, the dynamic between Oliver and Barry, and actually Kara as well was awesome. The Trinity of sorts had a great dynamic and a great chemistry in this crossover. The Monitor, the visit to Arkham Asylum, all of the Batman references, and the Crisis on Infinite Earth setup at the end. Just so much awesome in one crossover, and although I don't think Part 3 is really on par with Part 1 and 2, I still think that the Elseworlds crossover is the best crossover so far, but hopefully it'll be surpassed by the next one. Arrow Season 7 had an incredible start with what is being called the prison storyline. Oliver being in prison gave the writers, and especially the choreographers, the chance to go wild with the story and the fight scenes. The characters such as the villains Oliver put away before, and the fight scenes were all so awesome to see in the storyline. Oliver and Felicity were mostly completely separated from each other. Stephen Amell was amazing in these episodes in terms of his acting, and the rivalry between Oliver and Diaz, although it was really only one episode when they actually were interacting, I think that overall it was a genuinely great rivalry, especially in the final episode, which is really the only episode they interacted, the Slabside Redemption, which not only felt like kind of a season finale and the real season finale to what could have been a season 6, it also would have been on par with the best season finales of Arrow, season 1's finale Sacrifice and season 5 finales Lee and You. All in all, the prison storyline is one of the best arcs that Arrow ever pulled off, and it's a humongous shame that the rest of the season is so mediocre, because this season could have been on par with season 1, 2, and 5 as the greats of Arrow, just off the first 7 episodes, or at least the prison storyline. So that is my list. What do you think in the comments down below about this video? And if you have any other things, really anything, new characters, or maybe even revamped characters that they brought back. Like, I think Bronze Tiger honestly could have made it into this video, but didn't, because he didn't really make it, but he's a part of the prison storyline. But I really like what they did with him in this season of Arrow. Anything from the characters, the storylines, any scene, really anything about any season of the Arrowverse, let me know in the comments down below what you would put in this list. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.